for joining us today. My name is Alexandra Bell, and I am the President and CEO of the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists. It is the determination of the Bulletin's Science and Security Board that humanity has not made sufficient progress on the existential risks that endanger us all. We thus move the clock forward. The Doomsday Clock is a tool for communicating how close we are to destroying the world with technologies of our own making. The risks we face from nuclear weapons, climate change, and disruptive technologies are all growing. Every second counts, and we are running out of time. It is a hard truth, but this is our reality. It is now 85 seconds to midnight. This is the closest the world has ever been to midnight. It is the determination of the Bulletin Science and Security Board that humanity has not made sufficient progress on the existential risks that endanger us all. We thus move the clock forward. The Doomsday Clock is a tool for communicating how close we are to destroying our world with technologies of our own making. The risks we face from nuclear weapons, climate change, and disruptive technologies are all growing. Every second counts, and we are running out of time. It is a hard truth, but this is our reality. It is now 85 seconds to midnight. This is the closest humanity has ever been to midnight. It is the determination.
Alright, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yabushai, Bahasham Rakah Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who are pushing the 100% truth. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect. Alright, and this video is entitled Doomsday Clock Moves 85 seconds to midnight. 85 seconds closer to midnight. Alright, and this clock, however, was made by German scientists in 1947. Alright, and to tell global events, human catastrophe, basically to tell, when the end of the end of Esau kingdom. Alright, okay, and all this is the witchcraft and the sorcery. Alright, so I type up this from Google. What is the Doomsday Clock about? It says, from the Cold War to climate change, the clock is used to symbolize how close humans are to extinction, which everything what the Lord created have no end to it. This is just the end, the end of Esau Edom kingdom. Alright, since the beginning, the Doomsday countdown in 1947, the bulletin has varied, Slakia, if I pronounced it wrong, its assessments between as far as 17 minutes from midnight up to this year's assessment of 85 seconds. Alright, and this is just, this is just, this is all the witchcraft, but this is just showing you how close we are at the end of this devil's society. Alright, okay, we close, okay, and you've seen, the prophecies are happening. Revelation 17 and 16, okay, it's popping off. Babylon's being divided. All these things are happening. Protests. Alright, okay, which is Jacob's trouble stirring up. So things are moving real fast. Alright, time is ticking. Okay, and the Lord is doing this for his elect's sake. He's speeding up the days, now the days are very fast. Moving real fast. Just today and, now it's tomorrow, real fast. Alright, so let's get precept. This is Matthew chapter 24. I'll start at verse 21. It says, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be." All right. Okay, it's not no nice time coming. Doom is coming. Okay, perilous times, it's coming. Nothing nice is coming. All right. Um, Verse 22. "And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved." All right, because Edom's, advancing tech. All this advancing tech, is more advancing each day, AI, and whatnot. His devices, the elect would be wiped out because of all these things. But the Lord is shortening the days for his elect. So Esau have less time to advance these things. All right. So all this is for the elect's sake. The days are being shortened for the elect. All right, to save the elect. So perilous times are coming. Let's get this here. This is 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1. It says, "This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come." And this is what we see in it, perilous, dangerous times. Okay, dangerous times. Doom times, all right? Let's get this in the Apocrypha here. This is 2 Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. It says, "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before." All right, how we measure the times, we measure the times by prophecies. That's how we know we are closer to the end of Esau Edom kingdom, and we are closer to the setting up of our kingdom, Jacob. Okay, Jacob got next. All right. "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made." All right, a lot of chariot sightings being made, and Yahushua is gonna make his return. He's coming back. All right, with his chariots. All right, verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. And we're seeing that, right? A lot of protests taking place in Minneapolis. All right. Okay. A lot of protests being saying that as the Lord doing that, he heating up Jacob. That's Jacob's trouble. We're seeing that. Verse 4. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High speak of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. All right, the end is manifest. The end is being known. We're seeing all these prophecies happening and taking place. All right, serious times, are coming. Only doom and gloom. Okay, terrible times. This is 2 Ezra again, chapter 16 and verse 17. It says, "Woe is me, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days?" This is the prophet Ezra saying this. All right, woe is me. Woe means destruction. All right, because the times what the Lord was showing him, the times to come, it had to be real serious, devastating times, hellish times, doom and gloom times. All right. Okay, and that, so that's why you seeing destruction as me, because those times were so serious. Verse 18, it says, "The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear." All right, all these things are going to happen. The power is going to stand in fear. is representing, the powers represents the elites. All right. Okay, them and all gonna be in fear because of the things we're coming on the youth, and them gonna hide in the bunkers. All right. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? All right. And the only way you're gonna escape this is if the Lord with you. So now you should repent and be converted, to the Lord, to Yahweh Ba'ashum Yahushai. Turn to Yahushai, because He gonna save you in those times. Okay? And only the elect gonna really repent, and come back. Alright? Okay, this because this truth is not for everybody. Alright, so let's get a precept here. This is Mark chapter 13. And verse 24. It says, "But in those days after the tribulation, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light." All right, serious times. Verse 24, "And the stars of heaven shall fall, and the powers that are in heaven shall be shaken, and then shall they see the Son of Man in the clouds with great power and glory." All right, that's Yahushua coming back. All right, he coming back to set up his kingdom here on earth. All right, to save his elect and to set up his kingdom here on earth. Okay, so now we are at the end of Esau's kingdom. All right, Esau is the end of the world. The world not gonna end, but this is just the end, the age, the end of Esau Edom kingdom. All right. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 7. It says, "Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, for Esau is the end of the world." All right, and the world not gonna end. Esau, his age, his rulership is going to end, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Jacob gonna rule next. Our kingdom coming. Okay. So prophecy is happening. That clock is just a witchcraft, and just showing you how close we are at the end, closer to midnight. All right. So I hope this lesson has been edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect, Wa Abad Babal and Shalom.